plenty of these sort of front-running stayers that we've seen over the last few years that they need it to go their way. If he gets that result here, then he's going to be hard to beat. But I do think there's going to be some strength that's just going to lob right on his hammer, and it'll be the Copper Rush backers will get a little bit nervous late.
One who will run home well, he might get too far back, is number 4, Star Stay Duck. And I remember, I think it was in the middle part of September, he won a race here at the Meadows. He come from nowhere, which he does. They just might be going too quick out in front here, I feel. Yeah, he's going to find himself a long way off the arm here, Star Stay. You know he's going to flop out, as Corey said. I just think, Copper Rush and Bel Air Ethel are going to pinch that huge break, and Infra Rock's the one I want to be in that run-on bias position, 6 or 7 lengths off the lead. Star Stay might be 13 or 14 lengths off the lead. So then how does Star Stay get past Infra Rock? It probably can't. Are you happy with the quote we've been served up for Infra Rock? Yeah, I think it's a great price, $6. I just think Copper Rush is rock bottom odds, and let's not forget as well, 9 starts over the track and distance for Copper Rush, and he's only won once. Bel Air Ethel hasn't started at the track and distance, but is the stayer that has the big upside over the coming months. Infra Rock never missed a placing over his 3 starts here, 1 win and 2 placings, and I said he'll be lapping up. The conditions here add to my confidence tonight, because I just think that headwind Copper Rush might find a couple of times. Like I said, if Copper Rush and Bel Air Ethel do some bumping, then Infra Rock's going to be lapping that up, and he will just be clicking through the gears and finish over the top. Smithy, would you be leaning towards Bel Air Ethel? From a tipping perspective, I think Bel Air Ethel is a deserving favourite, is a deserving on-top selection, but just at the prices, Infra Rock is the one that I want to be with. We've mentioned Copper Rush on Sky Racing Active, that is a dog that can kind of be a little bit of a fly in the ointment in the early stages of races, and if Bel Air Ethel can get the run in behind Copper Rush, I think that's the suitable sort of scenario, giving her a dog to chase. But if they're going our Waverley Star Bone Crusher style around, I don't think that's going to suit Bel Air Ethel well. I think that sets up for Infra Rock. So I'd much rather be with the dog that is longer in the market in Infra Rock in this one. And with our Sky One audience in the house, this is the staying race of the night here on Silver Chief Night. And Michael Tyler, though, there is a short price favourite in Bel Air Ethel from box 2. She goes well. She's got promise. You happy to take her on? Yeah, I'm happy to take her on. Just at the price, it's all $55 is far too short, given the fact Copper Rush is probably going to be driving up underneath. And I see that possibility of Copper Rush and Bel Air Ethel driving each other mad in the early and middle stages. Could that take a toll late, especially in the windy conditions here? I think that the race shapes for Infra Rock to run up over the top of these rivals late. He'll be lapping up this 730-metre distance. Star Stay might find herself too far off the lead. So I just think Infra Rock's going to be the Johnny on the spot, smoking the pot, running third in the run, a few lengths off the lead. Like I said, if they just, Copper Rush and Bel Air Ethel annoy each other, I think they could undo each other, and I think they're both too short in the market. All right, Infra Rock on top for the Duck. Michael Ty, of course, we'll get this race out of the way, and then it's full throttle into the Group 1 Silver Chief, tonight's main event, which is the next race on tonight's card. Let's get upstairs with James for the staying event on Silver Chief Night.
We're at the start now and about to come in. Yeah, this one over the 730, Jace, $2 or $1.80 now, in fact, about number 2. It's $1.80 on the tote, $1.70 on the fixed, $2.90 now fixed odds. Copper Rush, the late money going the way of the red after he led every step of the way in the Bel Air Ethel race last start. $6 then Infra Rock. I think Star Stay's a little bit of a smoky in this race with the smaller field, and now the scratching of Magic Snowdrop. Might be able to get ahead of 1 or 2 of them early, and he'll be just one batting toward the line. Set for a jump now. Favoured in box 2, Bel Air Ethel. They're set the Meadows. Stayers are ready. Often racing. Star Stay very slow to go, and Copper Rush flew out straight through to lead by 3 or 4 to Bel Air Ethel, and they stretch out early. 6 away Cruzado. Star Stay gets up underneath of a few from Infra Rock, and about 3 to Harvey Intention. Down with a lap to go, and Copper Rush the front runner by 3 to Bel Air Ethel, and they're about 15 in front to Star Stay, who goes through underneath of Infra Rock, and then back at the end Cruzado and Harvey Intention. Down the back Copper Rush. They're running this like a sprint. 2 lengths in front to Bel Air Ethel, about 15 away to Star Stay, Infra Rock, and then Cruzado, Harvey Intention. It's been hot. Copper Rush the leader, swings the length. Bel Air Ethel, who's trying to level up. Bel Air Ethel driving and getting up. That was a fast race. Bel Air Ethel won it by a neck from Copper Rush in a stirring battle. About 14 lengths away, third Star Stay. Fourth, I think, Harvey Intention grabbing Cruzado. And Infra Rock peaked on the run at the tail of the field. These sections are going to be crazy, crazy quick. 42 and 55.
A race that would have been fitting on Speed Star night.
It was.
A hot leader, one in pursuit, a two-dog race, and in the end, Bel Air Ethel gets the nudge just. Ducking what was a very, very fast race, as James mentioned, as Copper Rush absolutely shanghaied.
Oh, it did. Copper Rush, he's got a great will to win this dog. He tried his heart out there to hold on, but just that upside that Bel Air Ethel has as a staying prospect over the coming months, just that Brendan Purcell has his dogs rock hard fit. And she's won well there, given the circumstances. The sizzling sectionals. Number 8, Cruzado, drove in for Rock. Absolutely mad here on the first turn and costed a lot of lengths twice there. In for Rock, back half the race, probably a bit disappointing. Just got too far off the lure because Copper Rush and Bel Air Ethel were just out in front. What a great showdown that was.
It absolutely was. There was some genius pre-race that said it was our Waverley Star Bone Crusher. I'm not quite sure it lived up to that, but it was a spectacle, that's for sure. And the dogs that just got back in the field, they just had no opportunity. They were so far off the lure, they couldn't see what was going on, and to be honest, probably switched off a touch just because those two were so far in front. You see it from time to time with these massive margins, massive distances, where sometimes it can just be really hard to chime into the race, and particularly when they run those sort of sectionals, as James said in the call, ridiculous sectionals. You just don't give the back markers any sort of opportunity, but all credit to Bel Air Ethel. She had that dog to chase. That Copper Rush was out in front setting those fast paces, and that's the sort of thing that she needs in her races, either a clear uncontested lead or she can just bide her time and then pick them off late.
We've spoken a couple of times tonight about conditions aren't exactly fast. It's windy, it's cold, it's nothing like we had last week on Phoenix night, but that time that was set there, 42.5, it's normally only reserved for sort of group heats without a trace comes to town and greyhounds like that. So a pretty decent run considering what else we've seen this evening.
Yeah, 42.97 is the average winning time for that sort of staying event. So they've gone, 7 lengths quicker than that. So and they raced like that, didn't they? Just out in front, carving out time. They probably were tiring late, but they still ran a real good time for it. Probably better than expected for that race, to be honest.
Well, I just had a trainer tell me just pre-race that, the track's a bit slower. They're not really running time. And I said, the track, there's nothing wrong with the track. It's the overhead conditions. And I'd love to ask that question, whether the track's still slow after that run, because as you mentioned, that sort of time is reserved for the upper echelon of stayers. And maybe Bel Air Ethel will get there. She's still learning her craft. That was her first crack over the 7:30 here, but that was a fast time and those splits were off the charts.
Can you see her transitioning into the top echelon of the staying ranks?
Yeah, absolutely I can. She's certainly got the ability. We've got a couple of the kids being little
live audience
down here, and it's a bit of fun. But yeah, she has certainly got the capabilities and the talents of getting into these big finals and big races. And I'm imagining Brendan Purcell's looking forward to 2026 with her.
Yep, indeed. All right, let's take a spell and get this live audience out of the way. That's the 7th run here at the Meadows on Silver Chief night. We'll be back soon to really get stuck into the Group 1 event, which comes up in 19 minutes.
We're on TV!
Yes.